There are 10 forms across Year 8, and each form had 3 to 4 sixth formers that were all safeguard trained, and each form had the same presentation that was created by Ben and I, and with the help of the lower school pastoral team. So there was a video clip that was meant to get them sort of going. There was a true or false quiz, and there was also a post-it note activity. So it was just sort of opening up what we were going to talk about. Then it was the scenario. So we had 4 to 5 scenarios, and we would sort of circulate these around the class, and sixth formers would ask questions, open up discussions with each little groups of Year 8s, and then finally we'd focus on maybe 1 or 2, and we'd feedback on what are the key ideas, what are the key things that everyone's felt, and potentially having a little bit of a debate or discussion about that. So the first focused on stereotypes, especially gender-based, dealing with homophobia, these kind of issues. The second focused on sharing content online, the dangers of this, and potentially the legislation and laws around this. And then the third one focused on consent, how we can ask for consent, and how consent sort of occurs in our day-to-day lives, both in school and outside of school.
Really the important thing with the Common Humanity Project was just to make the younger years feel comfortable talking about this sort of thing, rather than telling them what's right and what's wrong, giving them the space to talk about this and then letting them figure out what is right and what's wrong, because they do have a moral compass.
There's obviously a great PSSHE curriculum at school that runs parallel to what we were doing, so we wanted to offer something slightly different that they could feel comfortable, I guess, just talking about things, and I guess opening up more on the grey areas.
Especially in Year 7 and Year 8, it can be really difficult to get to maybe balance how you feel versus what others are doing, and how you can behave around others if you don't necessarily agree, but you don't want to sacrifice potentially your social standing, getting to know people, your friends. One that came up was, if somebody was saying something on a group chat that you didn't agree with, how would you go about dealing with this? And I think it was just giving them a chance to consider these type of things, so that when or if these situations were to present themselves, as group chat conversations always do, it would allow them to think back and think, okay, well, what advice have the sixth formers given me? What have I talked about in class? And maybe just giving them that confidence to be able to stand up for themselves and talk and sort of disagree with people if they think that they might be in the wrong.